From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, June the 2nd, 2017. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu heads to Africa this weekend. The Prime Minister will fly to Liberia to attend a summit of the 15-member Economic Community of West African States on June the 4th in its capital of Monrovia. Liberia's President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf visited Israel last June, and Israel's foreign ministry called Netanyahu's upcoming trip to the West African country a landmark in strengthening connections of Israel in Africa. Thousands of Muslim worshippers came to Jerusalem today for the first Friday prayer services of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Jerusalem police were on high alert as thousands of Palestinians from the West Bank and Gaza came to pray at the Old City compound of the Temple Mount, known to Muslims as the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Israeli Police Commissioner Rani al-Sheikh said that police will do everything possible to ensure freedom of religion and worship for anyone who wishes to pray at the site. He said our goal is to enable the proper observance of the holidays and festivals for members of all communities and religions, each in his own faith. Al-Sheikh extended his best wishes via Twitter for Muslims in Israel and around the world. Earlier this week, Israel's cabinet approved the easing of restrictions ahead of the holiday to allow for Palestinian worshippers to easily get to Jerusalem. Overnight last night, Israeli troops discovered a stockpile of weapons during an operation in the West Bank. A pistol, rifle, pieces of weapons, parts of explosives, and ammunition were seized by the IDF in Khirbat Aqba, and several suspects were arrested. The American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee has sent emergency assistance to the victims of the devastating flooding and mudslides that killed hundreds and displaced hundreds of thousands in Sri Lanka this week. The JDC, together with a local Buddhist organization, sent a first responder unit to provide food, water, and other emergency aid to the region. And Ambassador of Israel to India and Sri Lanka, Daniel Carmon, delivered disaster relief supplies to the area, along with a letter from Israeli President Reuven Rivlin expressing Israel's solidarity with the Sri Lankan people. Veteran Secretary to Israel's first Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, has died. Liza Shevets worked alongside Ben-Gurion for decades before and after he became Prime Minister. She passed away this week at the age of 103. And leading Israeli-American entrepreneur Arnold Goldman has died. Goldman created the Luz International Corporation in 1979 in Israel and is thought to have virtually founded the global solar energy industry. He died this week after a long illness at the age of 74. British rock band Radiohead will perform in Israel next month despite ongoing pressure from the BDS boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement to cancel. Frontman Tom York called the BDS efforts deeply disrespectful in an interview published today in Rolling Stone magazine. In it, York hits back at a number of performing artists, including former Pink Floyd frontman Roger Waters, for talking down to and pressuring the band. York said the band, which is known for its left-wing politics, does not agree with the BDS movement, nor with any cultural ban, and would never dream of telling others where to work or what to think. He said, "It's really upsetting that artists I respect think we are not capable of making a moral decision ourselves after all these years," calling BDS efforts an extraordinary waste of energy that could be used in a more positive way. Radiohead, who has performed in Israel 8 times, wraps up their A Moon-Shaped Pool tour at Park HaYarkon in Tel Aviv on July the 19th. Meanwhile, Israel's Strategic Affairs Minister Gilad Erdan is set to launch a new anti-BDS project here in the U.S. The project is called 4IL and will kick off during New York City's annual Celebrate Israel Parade, where Erdan will be in attendance alongside New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, as well as members of Knesset, Jerusalem Mayor Nir Barkat, and members of Congress. Erdogan said the state of Israel is under constant attack by delegitimizers working to demonize Israel online and undermine our legitimacy as the nation-state of the Jewish people. He said the international effort aimed to unite Israel's supporters and provide them with a platform that strengthens their activities, will provide tools to fight hatred together and resources to spread the truth. The Celebrate Israel Parade is a project of the Jewish Community Relations Council of New York. Official partners are the UJA Federation of New York and the State of Israel. The parade will go up Fifth Avenue from 57th to 74th Streets, rain or shine, this Sunday morning in New York City. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, June the 2nd. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by a performance of the Yamin Ord Youth Choir at 7:30. At 8, actor Richard Dreyfuss speaks at the 92nd Street Y, and at 9, it's the film Hasidism and Mysticism. At 10 o'clock, it's a look at a retelling of The Merchant of Venice, and Musica is at 10:30. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 5:30, Rabbi Shlomo Riskin looks at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, June the 2nd, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.